Hi, this is Dan Marantz with Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices, and I'm a realtor and the creator of Westerly Waves. Today, I have with me Heather Morrone, who is the first vice president and the future King Lion of the Westerly Lions Club. Heather,
Hi.
welcome.
Hi. Thank you, Dan, so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm looking forward to this one. You know, as a past president of the Lions Club,
Yes.
I'm excited to support and promote it. Heather, tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you a native of Westerly?
Actually, I'm not. I grew up in Hope Valley, which is just one town over. I went to Charahoe, and about 20 years ago, I had met my ex-husband at the time, and I moved into Westerly. And I've stayed here ever since. I have a daughter who attends high school, actually. She's a sophomore. So I stayed in Westerly, and how can you possibly leave this town? It's a fantastic town to be in. So,
how did you get involved with the Lions Club?
Well, funny you should ask, because you were part of it, of me becoming the next King Lion. Paul Kuhn, one of our members of the Lions, actually approached me when I first became a realtor. And he had heard I was just chit-chatting once about some volunteer work I was doing, and he said, wow. He said, I think you would really like the Lions. They do a lot in the community and the surrounding areas. So I went to a dinner with him, and here I am now. And you had actually approached me and how I felt about, you know, serving a little bit more on the board and whatnot. So it's been an absolute fantastic ride so far.
I had also brought Paul in as a member, so.
See?
So it does flow downhill.
Yeah, and then Paul will be the King Lion after myself.
That's
so,
correct.
Yes.
I got him to support you on
Sure
that part of it. What are some of the passions? I know that you volunteer, obviously, with the Lions Club, but
Yes.
what other passions do you have? What do you?
Well, I love watching my daughter play soccer, so I'm definitely a soccer mom, and as much time as I can possibly spend with her. Another one of my passions, though, is running. I love to run. It's a great way to relieve stress. You can go out on any country back road that we have in our area and just forget about everything. You start running, and it's fantastic. And I have a friend, Rosemary, who also loves to run with me. So she actually is a reason why I started running more and running marathons and stuff like that. So I've done 9 marathons so far, and 2 ultra marathons, and a bunch of half marathons. So. Yes, yes.
Well, I walked somewhere yesterday.
That's a start, Dan.
I know it's a start. With the Lions Club, tell us a little bit about, and I know a lot about it, but tell us a little bit about what the Lions are about and what they do.
Well, one of the things that impressed me, actually, when I went to the first dinner with Paul and deciding to join, I was really, let me take a step back. I think most people think of the Lions as collecting eyeglasses and sight. And there's a lot more to the Lions. We've got lots of layers, you know, which just fascinated me. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. We do so much. We have a laundry list of things that we could really talk about, between supporting the library and the Rhode Island Children Cancer Foundation and things like that, collecting books for children and whatnot. And it's just an all-encompassing organization, and we do so much in our community. It's amazing. It really is. And that's one of the reasons why I just love being a Lion. I'm proud to be a Lion.
When I first was asked to come to a meeting, Rick Dudley had asked me, and I showed up at a meeting. And at that meeting, I think the Lions gave away about $6,000 to 4 or 5, maybe 6 different organizations. And it blew me away that it wasn't just, as you say, glasses or sight. It was all of it was sports teams, it was the Johnny Cake Center, the
Ronald McDonald House.
Ronald McDonald.
I didn't know that the Lions, I don't mean to cut you off, I never realized that the Lions were huge support and helped to start the Ronald McDonald, you know.
You're in Rhode Island.
Yes, I mean, that just, I was taken aback. I didn't realize that. So it's, you know, we had our district governor at our meeting a couple of weeks ago, and we handed him a $5,000 check for Children's Cancer
Yeah.
Foundation. And, it's just, it kind of brings a tear to your eye, knowing that we've done all these wonderful things to really give back to the community.
I always read the Lions magazine each month, and I'm amazed by what Lions do internationally besides just locally. They are the largest service organization in the world, about 1.4 million members in 200 and something countries. It just gets ridiculous when you look at the volume of support that they do. But here in town, it's a really friendly club. I think it's friendly
Absolutely.
everywhere. But
It really is.
no, I don't think anybody ever feels out of place. I know when you joined, we did not have a lot of women in the club.
No.
Angie Smith was our first woman. She joined the same month I did. And we have we're 25% women now.
Yeah, we're growing in numbers.
And about to have a King Lion who's...
I know. I have to follow Angie Smith, though. If you all know Angie Smith, I've got big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
She was a fantastic president. She has heart poured into everything that she does, and she's just so passionate about, serving and volunteering and all that. So
She was my first vice president
Okay.
when I served as president.
Yep.
What's been the very best experience you've had with the Lions Club?
Oh, that's a loaded question, Dan. There's so many aspects to ponder that one a moment. Well, can I talk about the celebrity chef a little bit?
Absolutely.
For instance, every year we have a celebrity chef dinner. That's a fundraiser that we ask local chefs to participate, and a lot of them they do all donate their time, but they also donate the goods that they prepare, and we also have wine pairings with it. And I don't think we realized how popular it would become, for starters, and how much we actually are able to raise through that fundraiser to be able to utilize somewhere in the community. So, I mean, that's just one example. It's just, I think about it and I'm like, wow, what, we raised that much? That we're able to, $5,000 check to the right, I mean, it's mind-blowing sometimes what we are able to do. And I think a large part of that is because we do have a very active club. And everybody is really gung-ho about a lot of the fundraisers that we do as well, which really helps. I mean, we have members who are ready, willing, and able at all times to jump in. I mean, look at the library. Moving books twice a year, 3 times a year for the book sale. And, what we've done, sprucing up the handrail going around Grove Avenue. I mean, it's just all these little things.
I think going back to, the fountain in the park was
Yes.
Was funded pretty much by the Westerly Lions.
Yes.
Many people probably know it if you have a girl who plays softball, but we funded the fence over at the Little League field for the softball. That allowed them to run tournaments. So it doesn't just affect 1 or 2 people when
Right.
we do work.
It's for the whole town. It's the
really
whole
does.
community.
And it's never limited to just glasses or this organization or the Johnny Cake.
Right.
I can't, when I was getting ready to put this show together, I ran through the list of organizations that the Lions helped, and it gave me a good base for where we started
Yes.
with where I'm going to take the show.
Yeah, it's amazing. And every year, too, on the placards that we put on the tables for the celebrity chef, we do list out, and I think we could probably have 2 to 3 pages filled easily so we just give a little quick glimpse into how we really do give back to the community.
You mentioned earlier that we have a book drive coming up.
Yes.
Tell us, this is something new to the Lions this year. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, if you recall, a couple of years ago, perhaps 3 years ago, every month we were bringing canned goods, food items and whatnot to donate to the food pantries. And I had requested if we could, everybody bring in a book to donate. I brought them up to United Way, and I just simply asked a quick question of, you're located up here in Providence. We're down in Westerly. I'm not saying I expect the books to come back to our area, but I'm just curious, do any of these books that you collect in general ever make it back down towards our end of the state because it's so far away. And she said, well, actually, funny thing you should ask, they started opening doors for Westerly's children. A couple of women got together and they started, book drives, raising money for different various things for children who are in need in our community. And so we got all those books. I donated them. Fast forward till now, we're working with them a little bit more, collecting books for January and February. And all of those books we're going to donate to the Opening Doors for Westerly's Children so that they're able to give the books to the children who are in need. So it's pretty neat. And that, is something that'll keep giving because books are...
How does somebody, if they wanted to donate some books, where would they bring them?
Well, contact myself or Dan, actually. I can happily meet anybody to pick up books.
Okay.
And
if they wanted to drop them off, can they drop them at the Coldwell Banker office?
Absolutely.
With
Absolutely.
your attention?
Yep, absolutely. We're right on Route 1.
Right on Post Road.
Right on Post Road at Coldwell Banker. You can certainly drop them off there. Attention, Heather Morrone. Or you can certainly come to a Lions meeting and see what we're all about and have dinner on me. And bring the books as well in February. But
you can also drop them at my office at Berkshire Hathaway, also on Post Road. We're at the other end.
We're at opposite ends.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if somebody wanted to become involved with the Lions, you just invited them to attend a meeting. I do it regularly.
Mm-hmm.
What does it take to become a member of the Lions?
Well, you come to a meeting, see if you like it, see if you like what you see, which I don't think we've ever had anybody say, no thanks. Nope. We have a monthly meeting at different restaurants throughout our town, and you fill out an application. We look at it, the board members look at it, and if we say yes, which I don't think we've said no, we like people for the most part.
Yeah, I think so.
If we say yes and everybody approves, then you get to come to the next meeting and you're inducted in as a member of the Lions.
Right. This is the 100th year for the Lions Club International, and actually the 90th year for the Westerly Lions Club. So with International, all of the members that come in through last year and this year become what are known as Centennial members. It's pretty exciting.
That is exciting.
I actually remember when I brought the first Centennial member into the club,
cool.
and I got the Westerly Lions pin that said Centennial member sponsor. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yep. So, and if you do join and become a member, we are an organization that understands everybody has life commitments, and you're not required to participate in all of the fundraisers, and
or any for that matter,
or any if you choose not to. So there's no pressure.
That's one of the things that I like to tell people, and I'm glad you brought it up because
it's important to know.
We're busy people, as is everybody
Right.
else, and I think that when you say to somebody, well, you have to attend a meeting every Monday, you do not ever have, we have members who just do not attend meetings.
Right.
They rarely come out for the fundraisers, but they support us in spirit, they support us in money.
Right.
And when there is an event that they like, when White Cane Day is often a day that you see members who are not around the rest of the year.
Right.
Day before Thanksgiving, we're standing out in front of McQuaid's and
Dunn's Corners Market.
Dunn's Corners, the different places collecting money,
Yes.
and that's a huge fundraiser for the Lions.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah. So it's nice. That's one thing too. I really enjoy about the Lions Club too is that the White Cane Day and you get to see so many people out and about and
It always amazes me the people that will come up and donate and say, the Lions helped me, or the Lions helped my father.
It's amazing. This year, I noticed it more than ever. We had people coming up, thank you so much, this and that, or my father was a member, 40 years ago kind of a thing. Like it was just, I noticed that more this year than any other year during White Cane Day.
I think it's one of the joys of when you do tell people about Lions Club, and it's one of the reasons why I tend to bring in a lot of members is because I always talk about it. I'm so proud to be a Lion.
Yeah.
It's been one of the joys in my life here in Westerly.
Yes, I agree.
So, well, anything else you want to tell us about the Lions or any other organizations that you're a part of?
No, I've scaled back how many organizations I'm part of because I'm only one person, and you know, I feel that being a Lion, I think we do so much that we hit different organizations as well. So I don't feel that we just cater to one particular, you know.
You're right.
You know, so I'm satisfied.
Okay,
So,
good.
yes.
So, as you know, I'm a real estate agent, as are you, and I have heard horror stories every which way that you can imagine. My biggest horror story was the day that I walked into a house and there was somebody in there stealing the copper out of the house.
Oh my.
I'll tell you that story in the future one time. I got kind of yelled at for it. Tell me a story that's fun, not
a horror story?
Not a horror.
I think we could all write books.
We can write horror story books. But.
Oh gosh. Let's see, a funny story. This is going back when I was newer in real estate, and I showed a house to a family, and it was a house I had never been in before, and there hadn't been many pictures online, so we didn't really have a good feel of what we were walking into.
Right.
So we walk in, and me and the parents went in one direction, and the kids were so excited. You know, they were younger, first, second grade age. And they go zipping through the house, and they come running back into the living room. You've got to see this. You've got to see this. And we're all kind of like thinking they've already picked out their bedrooms. They love the house. They put their marks on their bedrooms, you know. We walked into a different room, and it was art hanging on the walls. And let's just say they weren't quite PG-13. They weren't really kid or age appropriate, let's just put it that way. So the parents and I kind of looked at each other, and we just went on, you know, because they were hanging on the wall, and we just said, there's different types of art, which there is, and we got them out of the room as quick as we can. I don't think I've ever been as red in my entire life. And I'm usually pretty good at coming up with something to say. And that was the first time I was stumped, too, on top of it. Thank goodness the father was quick thinking on it. It's a different type of art.
Yeah, that's funny.
So,
I have to tell you the funny part to that story that adds to this is we're sitting at the Artist Cooperative Gallery filming this, and I had to move the place that where we're sitting over a little bit because there is a somewhat erotic photograph,
yes,
painting on the wall that I didn't really want to be in the Westerly Waves. It's a beautiful picture, but it's not age appropriate for everybody.
And actually, can I just add something as well? Dan mentioned that we are in the Artist Co-op Gallery downtown Westerly, and this is another fantastic, I think, part of Westerly is our downtown area has really flourished in the last several years. It's grown. I mean, the Artist Gallery is busy. We have some amazing local talent, which I never realized. Yep. And we have this, we've got some shops, we have wonderful places to eat and have a drink at. I just think we're very, very fortunate where we are. We have a great downtown, a beautiful park and library, and less than 10 minutes down the road, we have some of the best beaches in the area. I mean, how can we possibly go wrong living in our area?
You can't, and that's one of the things that I absolutely love. My last interview asked Carol Cademus why she moved here, and she said that she wanted to live at the beach, and that was exactly why I moved here. You grew up close enough to it.
Yes, well, we spent summers at the beach and boating and whatnot, so the ocean has always been a part of my life and always will be. I can't imagine living anywhere else where you can't drive to water.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I ended up in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Well, Heather, this has been an absolute
Thank you so much,
pleasure.
Dan.
I always
really
have a great time
appreciate it.
talking to you.
Oh, that was great.
And
thank you.
If you want to get in touch with Heather, her phone number is
401-578-2358.
And you can see this episode at westerlywaves.com. If you have any other questions about the Lions, stick around for a few minutes because I'm going to post a lot of information right up behind the end of this video. Thanks very much, and have a great day.